This is Ace Poppy, and we are going to play Plague Inc. And this game is T421 Part 1. We are going to start the plague in West Africa, and the object of the game is to destroy the world with our plague. And if you look on the bottom left hand corner, there's DNA points. We're going to need DNA points to expand our disease, and there's different ways to do that, and I'll show you as we pick up more points. We're going to get various bubbles like this, and that helps spread our disease. If you look at the bottom right hand corner, that's the cure rate. And once our disease becomes really important, various countries will start trying to cure. Now we've got 12 DNA points already, now 15, so it's starting to spread pretty good. So we're going to go to abilities first. Whoops, hit the wrong button. And we're going to start expanding our disease with cold resistance. And with bacteria resilience. Okay. Now we've already evolved our disease, and as we pop these bubbles, by popping the bubbles, we're expanding the disease, and we're getting more DNA points. And as it expands to more countries, we also get points, more DNA points for that as well. Now, if you see the news on top, they're not mentioning the disease at all. It's still under the radar, even though it's infected hundreds in West Africa, and it's starting to spread into Algiers. Now we've got 10 DNA points, so we're going to go to transmission, and we want to transmit by birds first, so we want to get a few more points, so we could do that, and we got them now. So now we are going to evolve the disease by spreading the disease with birds. And my basic strategy here is we're going to work on transmission and abilities, and by doing that, sometimes the symptoms evolve without using DNA points, but eventually we'll use DNA points for symptoms too once we build up some momentum. Now we've got 11 more DNA points, and we're going to see if we can pick up. So it could withstand, our disease could withstand heat better now. And in the African continent, of course, in Asia, Central America, South America, with the heat, it's always cool. Still no mention of our disease, and that's a good thing. We want to keep under the radar screen as long as we can so they don't start working on a cure, because basically it's beat the clock. Now thousands are infected. Some of the headlines are kind of funny, like France is considering eliminating employment. Okay, if you can see all the little arrows traveling around the world, that's a good sign that the disease is really spreading. Now it's slowed down a little bit. Not sure why. But it's starting to pick up momentum again. And it's really developing in a lot of countries now. help the transmission through rodents. And we started in a port, in a country on the sea, so hopefully that's going to help. And by starting in West Africa, we also want to go to kind of an underdeveloped country so that, again, they'll, keep it under the radar screen as long as we can. European Union plans a new federal anthem. Cool. They're not looking at our disease at all. And you could see in West Africa, you could start seeing a lot of red dots. And now the disease is more effective than tuberculosis. Those red dots mean that the infection is pretty severe. And the more red a country gets, the more severe the disease is. And at some point now, I think somebody's going to take notice. Okay, now it's spreading into Central Africa and more infectious than HIV. So now people are going to start looking at it pretty soon. Already infected over 300 people in West Africa, and the infections over, wow, really into the hundreds of thousands. And now you can see West Africa is getting really red. Okay, we can't pick up more abilities yet, but we can infect through mosquitoes, so we're going to do that. New air filters are now being used to stop airplanes transmitting any disease between countries. Only advanced airborne diseases can survive them. So we want to improve our abilities as soon as we can. Let's take a look at abilities. Climates. Okay. Okay, we're not picking up too many DNA points right now. A little lull in the action. Not too much we could do, but we are spreading. That should be picking up some points for us. Now, there's still no increased rainfall in humid countries. Latest research shows the humid countries are getting significant wetter due to global warming. That should help spread our disease too. Now it's going into the Baltic states. And now insomnia symptoms without using DNA points. That's really cool. When people can't sleep, it's hard to rejuvenate the body and stay healthy. Arrows are really starting to pick up. New minor disease spreading. In a normal checkup, a doctor in West Africa found a new disease which has been named, It appears to be mostly harmless, but must be investigated further. Other countries are also reporting this disease. So they found us. Now let's see if they're going to do anything about it, though. So far, so good. Now it's spread into East Africa. And West Africa starts working on the cure. But they don't have a lot of funding, and it's going to take a long time, so that's good. And no one else is working on the cure yet. Okay, our disease is spread around the world. The use of World Data Menu, see what countries are not infected yet. So we could take a look there. Go to Data. Okay, healthy countries. So there's still a lot of healthy countries. And we're mainly in Africa. And we're getting into, you can see Brazil's here too. So it's taking time to spread, but it's starting to get into South America. and into Asia. No one else is working on the cure yet either. And we're starting to get some DNA points here. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to stop the game for a little bit because we're running out of time in this segment, but we'll be picking up the game again very soon. So this was Ace Poppy. Like to hear your comments, and really appreciate it if you'd subscribe and join us.